If your hands feel numb when you wake up, if your feet tingle for no clear reason, or if you get shooting pains in your legs that come out of nowhere, please stay with me. What I'm going to share in the next few minutes might explain why your nerves are struggling, and more importantly, how to protect them before things get worse. This isn't about covering up symptoms. This is about stopping the damage while you still have time. Let me promise you something right now. By the end of this video, you'll understand the one thing that's quietly harming your nerves every single day. Something you probably think is healthy. And you'll know exactly what to do about it, starting tomorrow morning. I've worked with hundreds of women over 60 who came to me with nerve problems. Tingling hands, burning feet, loss of feeling in their toes. And you know what they were almost always told? It's just your age. It's circulation. There's nothing you can do. But in most cases, that simply wasn't true. So let me ask you this, and I really want you to think about it. Have you noticed numbness, tingling, or burning sensations in your hands or feet? Did you know that what you eat for breakfast could be damaging your nerves, even if your doctor says your blood sugar is fine? Take a moment and think about that, because catching this early makes all the difference. Let me tell you about Margaret. She's 71, loves her morning walks, takes care of her grandkids. But her hands would go numb while she slept. Her feet tingled when she got out of bed. Sharp pains would shoot up her calves without warning. She went to 3 different doctors. They ran tests. Everything came back normal. She was told it was probably just part of aging, maybe poor circulation, one of those things you learn to live with. But when we sat down and really looked at her daily routine, we discovered something. One thing she ate every single morning was slowly poisoning her nerves. When we removed it, the damage didn't magically disappear, but it stopped getting worse. And that saved her independence. Here's what I want you to remember as we go through this. What was Margaret eating? And how many women right now are doing the exact same thing without realizing the harm? To understand what's happening, you need to know something important about nerves. Your nerves aren't like wires in your house. They're living tissue. They need oxygen, they need nutrients, and they need stable conditions to work properly. Unlike a cut on your skin that heals in days, nerve damage heals incredibly slowly. That means harm builds up quietly, sometimes for years, before you even feel it. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The thing damaging your nerves isn't some rare chemical or exotic toxin. It's not even one big thing. It's something very ordinary, something you've probably been told is good for you. The worst thing for your nerves after 60 is blood sugar that keeps going up and down like a roller coaster. Now, I know what you're thinking. But I don't have diabetes. Listen carefully, because this is critical. You don't need diabetes for blood sugar to damage your nerves. You just need it to spike too high, too often. And millions of women experience those spikes every single day. When blood sugar rises too high, sugar molecules stick to your nerve fibers like tiny pieces of broken glass. This creates inflammation and damages the protective covering around your nerves. Over time, your nerves can't send signals properly anymore. That's when the tingling begins, then the numbness, then the burning, then the pain that keeps you awake at night. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking nerve damage happens suddenly. It doesn't. It builds silently, month after month, year after year, while the real cause keeps working in the background. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever been told your blood sugar is a little high or borderline, or something to watch? That's often where nerve damage starts. Research shows that even pre-diabetes can damage nerves almost as much as full diabetes. The problem is, most people don't even know they have it. I know what you're thinking right now. But I eat healthy. And I believe you. Most of the women I work with say the same thing. That's exactly the problem. The foods harming your nerves don't look dangerous. They hide in plain sight, often disguised as healthy choices. Let me walk you through what's happening inside your body. You eat something that makes blood sugar rise quickly. Your body releases insulin to bring it back down. Over time, your cells stop responding as well to insulin. So sugar stays in your blood longer than it should. Your nerves, especially the long ones in your feet and hands, get bathed in too much sugar over and over again. The tiny blood vessels that feed oxygen to your nerves get damaged. Oxygen can't get through. Your nerves slowly starve. And because this happens so gradually, you don't connect the dots. You think it came out of nowhere. But it's been building for a long time. Here's something else that's important. If high blood sugar is so harmful, why don't all women with high sugar get nerve damage? The answer is how often it happens, how long it lasts, and how resilient your particular nerves are. Some nerves handle stress better than others. But once the damage reaches a certain point, symptoms show up, and they often get worse quickly. So where is this hidden danger coming from? Let me show you the 3 biggest sources in your daily life. The first one is liquid sugar. Fruit juice, sweetened coffee, energy drinks, even smoothies that seem healthy. When sugar is in liquid form, it rushes into your bloodstream incredibly fast because there's no fiber to slow it down. That creates a sharp spike that directly harms nerve tissue. Many women drink juice in the morning because they were told it's an easy way to get nutrition. Unfortunately, it's one of the fastest ways to damage nerves. The second source is eating carbs by themselves. Toast for breakfast, crackers as a snack, a bowl of cereal, rice or pasta with nothing else. These turn into sugar quickly in your body. Women are often told to eat light, easy to digest foods. But easy digestion often means rapid sugar release. And that sugar floods your bloodstream and coats your nerves. The third source is snacking all day long. When you're constantly eating small amounts throughout the day, your insulin stays elevated. Your nerves never get a break. There's no recovery time. This is why grazing can be especially harmful. Nerves need calm, stable conditions to survive. Constant sugar exposure keeps them inflamed and irritated. Now here's something most people never hear. Certain medications can make nerve damage worse by blocking your body's ability to absorb important vitamins, especially B12. Some heartburn medications, some diabetes drugs, and even some cholesterol medications can deplete your B12 over time. B12 is absolutely essential for maintaining the protective coating around your nerves. Without it, nerves become fragile and start to misfire. Let me tell you about Dorothy. She had numb feet for 3 years. Every doctor she saw blamed it on aging. When we finally tested her vitamin levels, she was severely low in B12. It wasn't her diet causing the problem. It was a medication she'd been taking faithfully every single day for 5 years. Once we corrected that, her nerve damage stopped getting worse. It didn't reverse, but it stopped. And that made all the difference in her life. Nerve damage rarely has just one cause. It's usually a combination of unstable blood sugar, inflammation, low nutrients, and poor circulation. But blood sugar is the match that lights the fire. It's what makes everything worse. This matters because nerves have a breaking point. Early damage might cause a little tingling or light numbness. Later damage causes pain, problems with balance, falls, and loss of independence. Once nerves actually die, they're extremely hard to bring back. That's why catching this early is so important. Here's what I need you to understand clearly. Nerve damage isn't always reversible, but in many cases it can be stopped from getting worse. And stopping it can save your quality of life. Which brings us to the most important question. If blood sugar spikes are the problem, what protects your nerves? What can you actually do about it? And what simple changes can you make right now to stop the damage from moving forward? That's what I'm going to show you next. How to spot hidden blood sugar spikes. The one simple eating rule that protects nerves. The nutrients your nerves desperately need after 60. And how to tell if your nerve damage might still be in the early stage where you can do something about it. Now let's talk about what actually gives you back control. If unstable blood sugar is quietly damaging your nerves, what stops it? What protects nerve tissue? And what can you realistically do? Not as a doctor, not as someone with unlimited time and money, but as a woman over 60 who wants less pain, better balance, and the ability to stay independent. This is where most people expect complicated answers. Special diets, expensive supplements, Miracle cures. The truth is much simpler, and that's why so many people miss it. The first and most important step is stabilizing your blood sugar. Not lowering it aggressively. Not obsessing over perfect numbers. Just keeping it steady. Your nerves don't need perfection. They need consistency. Every sharp spike in blood sugar is like a tiny chemical burn to your nerve tissue. Fewer spikes mean less damage. And that alone can slow down or even stop the progression. Here's the single most important rule I teach women with nerve problems. And it's something most people have never been told. Never eat carbohydrates by themselves. Not fruit alone. Not bread alone. Not crackers, cereal, or toast by themselves. When you eat carbs alone, they hit your bloodstream too fast. Sugar rises sharply, insulin surges, and nerve repair shuts down. But when you eat carbohydrates with protein or healthy fat, absorption slows way down. The exact same food that damages nerves when eaten alone becomes much safer when eaten the right way. This rule alone explains why some women develop severe nerve damage while others don't, even when they eat similar foods. It's not always what you eat. It's how you eat it. Let me give you a real example. A woman named Linda, 68 years old, came to see me because her legs felt weak and shaky by mid-afternoon. Her feet burned at night. Her toes were numb all day. She thought she was eating well. Every morning, she had a berry smoothie with banana, almond milk, and a little honey. Seemed healthy, right? But what she didn't realize was that all that liquid sugar was hitting her bloodstream before her body had any protection. We stopped the smoothie. We started her day with scrambled eggs and spinach instead. We moved a small handful of berries to after lunch, eaten with her meal. Within 3 weeks, her nerve pain eased. Her balance improved. Her energy stopped crashing. Nothing magical happened. We just stopped poisoning her nerves. The second step is cutting out liquid sugar completely. No juice, no sweetened drinks, no smoothies, even the healthy-looking ones. Even 100% natural juice is pure sugar without any fiber. Fiber is what slows down absorption and protects your nerves. Without it, sugar hits hard and fast. Many women drink juice because it's easy, gentle on the stomach, and recommended by well-meaning people. Unfortunately, it's one of the fastest ways to make nerve damage worse. If you want fruit, eat it whole, in small portions, and never on an empty stomach. A few berries after a meal is far safer than a glass of juice with breakfast. This one change alone can dramatically calm nerve irritation. The third step is protecting your nerves with the right nutrients. This is critical. Nerves need specific vitamins and minerals to stay healthy. The most important one is vitamin B12. B12 keeps the protective coating around your nerves strong and healthy. It's called myelin, and it's like insulation on an electrical wire. Without enough B12, nerves become exposed, fragile, and they start sending faulty signals. Many women over 60 are low in B12 and don't know it, especially if they take heartburn medication or certain prescriptions. But B12 isn't the only one. Magnesium helps nerves send signals properly and reduces cramping. Folate works together with B12 to protect nerve tissue. And alpha-lipoic acid helps reduce the stress and inflammation inside nerve cells. Some research shows it can even improve nerve symptoms in certain people. These nutrients don't cure nerve damage, but they help protect and stabilize what you still have. Now here's an important warning. More is not better. Some vitamins, especially B6 in high doses, can actually make nerve damage worse if you take too much. This is why getting tested and working with someone who knows what they're doing really matters. Guessing can be harmful. The fourth step is lowering chronic inflammation. Inflammation makes nerves extra sensitive. It amplifies pain signals. It turns mild nerve irritation into severe burning or stabbing pain. Highly processed foods, refined vegetable oils, and too much sugar all fuel inflammation. On the other hand, foods like salmon, sardines, olive oil, leafy greens, and spices like ginger help calm inflammation down. Less inflammation means quieter, calmer nerves. The fifth step is gentle movement. Now, before you panic, I'm not talking about intense exercise or going to a gym. You don't need that. In fact, extreme exercise can sometimes make symptoms worse. What your nerves need is circulation. Gentle walking, especially after meals, helps bring blood sugar down and improves blood flow to nerve tissue. Even 10 minutes makes a difference. Movement is medicine when it's done the right way. Now, I want to address something important. Many women feel discouraged when they hear that nerve damage heals slowly. And yes, that's true. Nerves regenerate very, very slowly, if at all. But here's what people miss. Stopping the progression is just as valuable as reversing damage. Less pain. Better sleep. Improved balance. Fewer falls. Those changes matter deeply. One of the most damaging beliefs women are given is that nothing can be done. That belief itself becomes dangerous. I've seen women give up too early, only to get much worse very quickly because the real cause was never removed. Let me share another story. A woman in her early 70s came to see me using a walker. She felt unsteady and terrified of falling. She'd been told her nerve damage was permanent and there was nothing to do but manage it. When we stabilized her blood sugar, fixed her nutrient levels, and removed liquid sugar from her diet, her nerve pain decreased enough that she felt confident walking again without the walker for short distances. She didn't become pain-free, but she got her confidence back. And that's life-changing. This brings up an important point. Nerve damage isn't just about pain. It's about independence. It's about being able to feel the ground under your feet, to react quickly if you stumble, to trust your own legs. Once nerve damage goes too far, the risk of falling increases sharply. And falls are one of the biggest threats to health and longevity after 60. That's why timing is so important. Early nerve damage responds better than advanced damage. Tingling and mild numbness are warning signs, not life sentences. They're your body telling you something needs to change. Now let me give you a simple, practical plan you can start for the next 2 to 4 weeks. First, remove all liquid sugar. No juice, no sweetened drinks, no smoothies. Second, pair every carbohydrate with protein or healthy fat. Toast with eggs. Berries with Greek yogurt. Apple slices with almond butter. Third, eat fruit only after meals, in small portions. Fourth, take a gentle 10-minute walk after eating whenever possible. And fifth, if you haven't had your B12 levels checked recently, ask your doctor about it. Do not stop or change any medications on your own, but be aware that some medications can affect nutrient absorption. Pay attention. Observe what happens. Many women notice less burning at night, better sleep, and steadier balance. Even small improvements are meaningful because they tell you the damage isn't set in stone yet. Here's something I want to say very clearly, and I need you to really hear this. Anyone who promises you a miracle cure for nerve damage is not being honest with you. But anyone who tells you nothing can be done is also wrong. There's a wide space in between, and that's where real healing happens. Nerve damage is often the result of years of quiet harm. It makes sense that fixing it takes time. But stopping the poison is always the first step. And that's something you can start today. Your nerves have been working hard for you your whole life. It's not too late to start protecting them. Start with one small change, just one. And see what your body tells you. You deserve to feel steady on your feet. You deserve to sleep without burning pain. You deserve to trust your hands and legs again. Try this for the next 7 days. Just 7 days. Pay attention to how you feel. Your body knows how to heal when you remove what's hurting it. Give yourself that chance.